Hare Krishna, welcome you all.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yadavaya Nama Krishna Madhavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Shri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Welcome you all. So today we are going to discuss and learn about the Parashurama incarnation. Okay. Before we proceed on to the PPT proper, I wanted you to volunteer to read from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. I wanted one devotee to volunteer to read this.
I'll read Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, you can.
Incarnation. This chapter describes the history of God. Is it Gadi Mataji?
Yes.
Dynasty of Aila. From the womb of Urvashi came 6 sons named Ayu, Rutayu, Satyayu, Raya, Jaya, and Vijaya. The son of Shrutayu was Vasuman. The son of Satyayu was Shrutanjaya. The son of Raya was Eka. The son of Jaya was Amita. And the son of Vijaya was Bhima. Bhima's son was named Kanchana. The son of Kanchana was Hatraka. And the son of Hatraka was Janu, who was celebrated for having drunk all the water of the Ganges in one sip. The descendants of Janu, one after another, were Puru, Balaka, Ajaka, and Kusha. The sons of Kusha were Kushambu, Tanaya, Vasu, and Kushanabha. From Kushambu came Gadi. who had a daughter named Satyavati. Satyavati married Richika Muni. After the Muni contributed a substantial dowry, and from the womb of Satyavati by Richika Muni, Jamadagni was born. The son of Jamadagni was Rama or Parashurama. When a king named Kartavirya Arjuna stole Jamadagni's desire cow, Parashurama, who was ascertained by learned experts to be a Satyavesha, incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, killed Kartaviryarjuna. Later, he annihilated the Kshatriya dynasty 21 times. After Parashurama killed Kartaviryarjuna, Jamadagni told him that killing a king is sinful and that as a Brahmana he should have tolerated the offense. Therefore, Jamadagni advised Parashurama to atone for his sin by traveling to various holy places. Text 1. Sukadeva Goswami. Okay.
Not
Okay.
required. Yeah, Hare Krishna. So before
Hare Krishna.
actually say about, I say about, because there is a pictures like a slice about the dynasty, I'll just show you. So before we actually go into that, I thought if we give a reading, then you have an idea, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Kshatriya Rudiyamane Jagata Apagata Papam Snapayasi Payasi Samhita Bhavatapam Keshavadrita Bhrigapati Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. So, O Keshava, O Lord of Universe. So today's class is about the Parashurama Avatara. Again, he is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So very fierceful form. Okay. And why the incarnation? It is a Shakti Avesha Avatara, as it has been discussed. It has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam. And what is the purpose of that and what he'll be doing in this Avatara, we'll be learning today. Okay. So the Lord has assumed the form of a Bhrigupati, that is Parashurama. Okay, all glories to you. At Kurukshetra, you bathed the earth in the rivers of the blood from the bodies of the demonic Kshatriyas that you have slain. So the sins of the world are washed away by you, and because of you, people are relieved from blazing fire of material existence. So whenever there is a rise in irreligion and lot of adharma is happening, so Lord will appear. Similarly, here the king named what is his name? Yeah, Kartavirya Arjuna. Okay, so lot of irreligion which is happening in his presence, and he was not able to curb anything. So to slain that king, Parashurama's avatara is there, and he will be slaying them. Apart from that, when you read the purport, some other sinful activities they have committed, and for that the extended Kshatriya dynasty which is there of that particular king will also be vanished. Okay, that is the back end. And I think this we have read the purport, what is it, the gist of the summary from the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 15th chapter. So this is what I think now, I think Preet Mataji, she read. Is it
Yes,
the same thing, Mataji? So without reading, I think it's next to impossible to understand this chart.
Yes, Mataji, it's better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so this is a dynasty which is a like from where Parashurama is there, his forefathers, pre forefathers and all, you know, and yeah, Janu, all these people who drank water, Ganga water in one sip and all. Just now, I think Preet Mataji she read. And so these are the back end, you know. At the end, we are interested only in like Jamadagni, and Renuka's son is Parashurama, isn't it? Okay, till Satyavati, we have read, and Jamadagni is the father of Parashurama, and Renuka is the wife of Jamadagni. And what happens is, why Parashurama has to kill the king is he will abduct the pious cow, which is desire cow, and which they are worshipping and all. He abduct that cow, and this is the cow abduction is a great offense, isn't it? It is not tolerable. So for which reason he will kill the king Kartavirya Arjuna. Okay. Yam mahur vasudevam sham hayhayanam kulantakam tri sapta kritvo ya imam chakre nihi kshatriyam mahim. So learned scholar accept this Parashurama as the celebrated incarnation of Vasudeva, who annihilated the dynasty of Kartavirya. So not only the Kartavirya Arjuna, but 21 generations of those the Kshatriya dynasty and all, he will destroy it also. Yeah. So what is the reason behind? As I told you, this is he'll get this boon from Lord Shiva, the axe which Parashurama, we identify Lord Parashurama with the axe, isn't it? Okay. And he was causing intense disturbance to all the population who are situated, and the time has come where he has to be slain, but it's all again the plan of Lord, like if you take in a previous avatars also, in Varaha Avatara, the goddess Earth has been abducted by Hiranyaksha. And if you take Prahlad Maharaj of this thing, where Narsimha Avatara, so where Prahlad Maharaj, who is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, is been troubled by his own father Hiranyakashipu and all. So such conditions, and these people are, the Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, they are the Jaya Vijaya, and they are, because of some small disturbance or some small mistake, they are given a big punishment to be born as a demons. And at the end, Lord is so merciful even towards the devotees, because they are the gatekeepers of Vaikunta. So he will appear to kill them and take them back to his place. Okay. So likewise here also a lot of things were happening, and abduction of the cow is all again the Lord's plan, where he can slain this Kartavirya Arjuna, and he was becoming powerful day by day, the king, and in the previous avatars, they were worshipping Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva and all, but in this particular Kartavirya Arjuna, he was worshipping on the Lord Dattatreya, and he got thousands of and like how do you have in Vishwarupa in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So once a person get a boon of extra from an ordinary individual, then he thinks and he think himself to be a god, and he try to do all the dirty things and nasty things towards the other mankind. So when his ego has been puffed up, I think in the Rama Avatar also you can see the Ravana was a great Brahmana, but because of his puffed up ego, and he was lusty towards Sita Maya and greed towards the the other women, and anger towards that she is not able to tolerate him and accept him, and also lust, greed and anger. These are the three gateways which will to the hell. So similarly, here he once he got the boon from the Dattatreya and all, he felt himself very powerful and all. So just to slain him, some amount of durbuddhi will be initiated in his mind, so that he abduct the cow and all, so that Parashurama will get an action to an opportunity to kill him. Okay. So when Ravana attempted to insult Kartavirya Arjuna in the presence of women and thus offended him, okay, Kartavirya Arjuna easily arrested Ravana and put him in the custody of city of Mahishmati, just as one captured the monkey and then released him neglectfully. So he was even more powerful than him, and this has happened. Okay. So when when such things happens, they automatically the ego of that particular individual goes up, and he thinks more powerful, and he try to do more harm. Okay. Yeah. So one day, the king was very astonished that again he's in the kings and all are always in the mode of a passion as well as little bit of ignorance. And one day he happened to see the cow which is owned by Jamadagni, and he was envious of that great sage, which is the desire cow, that is something like a very auspicious, and it's giving what do you say, the good qualities which is possessed with the cow and all was not able to get digested by this Kartavirya Arjuna. So what he does that, he wanted to abduct that, because he feels he is the greatest person on that planet, and he's the greatest, and he can superiority complex, lot of false ego is there, and puffed up is there, and he's not most of the, not only him, what lessons we learn by this is that people who are there in a position having an administration power and having a hold of many things, they think easily they can get away with whatever they wanted. So they can abduct anything, they can get away with anything, and they can get the things as per the vision. Also here he is underestimating the power of Jamadagni, who is the great sage, and he thinks what happens to this sage if I'm going to abduct this cow and all. So it is an invitation for death for him, isn't it? So the Maya will come in the form of that cow, that is an intense desire to acquire the cow. So now that the Maya has invoked that sensation, so this what happens to the people who are there in the mode of a passion as well as an ignorance, if we are not surrendering our senses on to the Lord, and if we are in the mode of a passion and ignorance, the Maya try to divert you to the different things by which we bring a disastrous end to our lives. So it is always advisable. So why you have this Bhagavatam stories and all to give you a story, what is a lesson, like try to be in more of a mode of a goodness. So people who are there in the mode of a goodness will be more benefited than in the people who are there in the mode of a passion and ignorance. So here the king is in the mode of a passion and he's in mode of an ignorance. Now he's greedy towards the cow. So yes, again, greed, lust, and anger, these three things will take you to the hell. So next step, what he does is he will abduct the cow. Okay. So leaving the Jamadagni behind, and you can see both because he has got a lot of power and many people are there with him, and he thinks, yes, I can do whatever I feel like because I'm a king and all. So without the will of that particular person or the rishi and his family and all, he simply took away the cow from him. So when Parashurama come to see his father, okay, and then when he come to know about the situation, then his father immediately says, so this is what is the situation which has happened, and please go and slay that person. Okay. So tam apantam Bhrigu Varya Mojasa Dhanurdharambana Paraswadhyayudham Aneya Charmambaram Arkadhamabhir Yutam Jatabhir Tadrishe Puram Vishan. So as the king Kartavirya Arjuna entered the capital of Mahishmatipuri, he saw the Lord Parashurama, the best of Bhrigu dynasty, after coming after him, holding a chopper, shield, bow, and arrows. Okay. So Lord Parashurama was covered with a black deer skin and was a matted lock of hair, appeared like a sunshine. So as he is the Shakti Avesha Avatara of Lord Supreme Personality of the Godhead, this is how we recognize him. And obeying the order of his father, he went behind this Kartavirya Arjuna. Okay. Kartavirya Arjuna sent 17 full of Akshauhinis of soldiers to check the Parashurama, See, he's so powerful, he thinks, and he got so much of an army, and he thinks he's just one person what he will do. But somewhere, even if you take in Mahabharata war, before the war happened, Duryodhana always have some amount of benefit of doubt inside whether I'm going to win or not. So, and in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, so he will be thinking inside like, if at all somebody is going to kill me, that's going to be only Bhima. So many doubts he has got in his mind, and this is one like that. Kartavirya Arjuna also was speculating, kindly check on the Parashurama and he sent his 17 full Akshauhinis of the soldiers. And Lord Parashurama alone killed all of them. Okay. So one Akshauhini means number of chariots as 21,870 and number of elephants are 21,870 and infantry soldiers is 1,99,350 and number of horses is 65,610. So like that 16 Akshauhinis have been sent to kill the Parashurama, and it happens only with the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. No one ordinary man can slay so many people. Yeah. So after that, after he killed the army, the extended army, everything and all, now he ultimately killed the main villain of the story, that is the Kartavirya Arjuna. So Parashurama cut off the Kartavirya Arjuna head, like he'll behead him, and he will cut off all his extended arms, which he got as a boon from the Lord Dattatreya. Okay. Yeah. I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, yes.
Lesson to learn from this history. Parashurama, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, killed Kartavya Veer Arjuna because Kartavirya Arjuna was too proud. One may possess unusual opulence in this material world, but if one becomes puffed up and acts whimsically, he will be punished by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the lesson to learn from this history, in which Parashurama, being angry at Kartavya Veer Arjuna, and killed him and rid the entire world of Kshatriyas 21 times. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So we should never be puffed up with our material possessions, let it be degrees or a beauty or opulence or any other thing, the positions, whatever it is. So the Supreme Personality of the Godhead will be looking after our activities, and anything if you are going around, he is going to take action accordingly. Okay. So after he has killed Kartavirya Arjuna, so what Jamadagni has advised to Lord Parashurama? Yeah. Preet Mataji, what did you read? At last, what does he say? Hare Krishna. I'll show it again.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So after Parashurama killed Kartavirya Arjuna, Jamadagni, what did he tell? That killing a king
A
is...
Brahmana should have, yeah. Killing
Yes.
a king is sinful, and that as a Brahmana, he should have tolerated the offense. So therefore, Jamadagni advised Parashurama to atone for his sin by traveling to various holy places.
Yeah. So now the demon is gone, but because these are all stories which are for our future reference and for the betterment of mankind. So whatever you have done, okay, fine. But what is next is his father is advising him to go to various pilgrimages and go for atonement. Okay. And yeah. Oh, great hero, my dear son Parashurama, you have unnecessarily killed the king, who is supposed to be the embodiment of all demigods. Thus, you have committed a sin. Okay, he only told you, please go and get the cow and all. And once he got the cow and all, then now he's saying, you have committed a sin and all. Okay, yes. But once we are there as a Brahmana, so it is a duty to be more humble, more patient and tolerance, all the good qualities and all the divine qualities we should be possessing. So, but this is a different case. Okay. So here the main purpose is that is to slay the demon, that is Kartavirya Arjuna. So the totally a different role, but still, you know, here Parashurama is in the form of a Brahmana. So what he does is, the duty of the Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating like a sun. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Hari, is pleased with those who are forgiving. Okay. So for that atonement, his father has suggested him to go to various holy places. Okay. My dear son, so Jamadagni is saying to Parashurama, killing who is an emperor is more severely sinful than killing a Brahmana. But now, if you become Krishna conscious and worship the holy places, you can atone for this great sin. Okay. If you take a history of Mrigari or what do you say, sage Valmiki, who was a Ratnakara, that means he was totally in the mode of ignorance. But because of his, what do you say, the guidance given by Narad Muni, okay, when he take up the Ramanama Japa, he will turn into the sage Valmiki, isn't it? So this is a transition phase for Parashurama. He did something which is there in the mode of a passion, but now his father is advising him to go for atonement by visiting the holy places and worshipping Lord Krishna. Okay, I wanted one devotee volunteer to read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
One who fully surrenders to Supreme Personality of Godhead is freed from all sins. Because an ordinary person cannot immediately surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is advised to go from one holy place to another to find saintly persons and thus gradually be released from sinful reactions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what happens if one fully surrender onto the Lord? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha saisyami.
They are freed from all sins.
Yeah, they are freed from all sort of a sin. So now that his father is saying, please go to the holy places and become Krishna conscious. Okay. And in this process, you will automatically be released. Okay. So what happened? Okay, his father got killed. The sons will definitely feel vengeful to seek the revenge on Parashurama, isn't it? It is a natural phenomena. Okay, they will not keep quiet. Now he has tried to banish majority of the Kshatriya dynasty, but they were not happy Parashurama being alive and still as a threat to the rest of the Kshatriya dynasty. Okay, what will happen next? We will see. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this again.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Jamadagni was certainly very powerful due to his austerities, but because of a slight offense by his poor wife Renuka, he ordered that she be killed. This certainly was a sinful act, and therefore Jamadagni was killed by the sons of Kartavirya Arjuna as described herein. Lord Parashurama was also infected by sin because of killing Kartavirya Arjuna, although he was not very offensive. Therefore, whether one be Kartavirya Arjuna, Lord Parashurama, Jamadagni, or whoever one may be, one must act very cautiously and sagaciously. Otherwise, one must suffer the results of sinful activities. This is the lesson we receive from Vedic literature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I think where I am. Oh. Okay. I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this.
Mataji, I will read.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
When Jamdagni was killed by the sons of Kartavirya Arjuna, as described in this chapter, Parshuram rid the entire world of Kshatriyas 21 times. This chapter also describes the descendants of Vishwamitra. When Jamdagni's wife Renuka went to bring water from the Ganges and saw the king of the Gandharvas enjoying the company of Apsaras, she was captivated and she slightly desired to associate with him. Because of this sinful desire, she was punished by her husband. Parshuram killed his mother and brothers, but later, by dint of the austerities of Jamdagni, they were revived. The sons of Kartavirya Arjuna, however, remembering the death of their father, wanted to take revenge against Lord Parshuram. And therefore, when Parshuram was absent from the ashrama, they killed Jamdagni, who was meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Parshurama returned to the ashrama and saw his father killed, he was very sorry, and after asking his brothers to take care of the dead body, he went out with determination to kill all the Kshatriyas on the surface of the world. Taking up his axe, he went to Mahasimati Pura, the capital of Kartavirya Arjuna, and killed all of Kartavirya Arjuna's sons, whose blood became a great river. Parshurama, however, was not satisfied with killing only the sons of Kartavya Arjuna. Later, when Kshatriyas became disturbing, he killed them 21 times, so that there was no Kshatriyas on the surface of the earth. Thereafter, Parshurama joined the head of his father to the dead body and performed various sacrifices to please the Supreme Lord. Thus, Jamdagni got life again in his body, and later he was promoted to the higher planetary system known as Saptarishi Mandala. Parshurama, the son of Jamdagni, still lives in Mahendra Parvata. In this Manvantara, he will become a preacher of Vedic knowledge. Hare Krishna.
You read this
Shall
one, Prabhu.
Okay. Shall I continue?
Yes.
In this dynasty of Gadi, the most powerful Vishwamitra took birth. By dint of his austerity and penance, he became a Brahmana. He had 101 sons who were celebrated as the Madhuchandas. In the sacrificial arena of Harishchandra, the son of Ajigartha, named Suhasa Sepa, was meant to be sacrificed, but by the mercy of the Prajapatis, he was released. Thereafter, he became Devrata in the dynasty of Gadi. The 50 elder sons of Vishwamitra, however, did not accept Sunasa Sepa as their elder brother, and therefore Vishwamitra cursed them to become Mlechas, unfaithful to the Vedic civilization. Vishwamitra's 51st son, along with his younger brothers, accepted Suhasepa as the eldest brother, and their father Vishwamitra, being satisfied, blessed them. Thus, Devrata was accepted in the dynasty of Kaushika, and consequently, there are different divisions of that dynasty.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. So,
Hare
with
Krishna.
Devrata, anybody have any idea? What is the other name of Bhishma Pitamaha?
Shantanu.
Shantanu is the father, no?
Mm.
What is the original name of Bhishma Pitamaha? Devavrata. Okay. So this particular puppet will say like, yeah, slightest offense by his wife, she becomes attracted towards the demigods and all, and she will be killed. Similarly, his brothers who could not stop her mother being her mother being chasteful, so they could not stop them. So even they will be killed by Parshurama. Later, Jamadagni will bring them back to the life and all. Okay, and these Kartavirya Arjuna sons could not take the defeat and all, and they will try to attack Parashurama, but Parashurama wasn't there in the ashram and all. So they killed Jamadagni, who was in a deep meditation on Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So as we have read the summary of that particular chapter, okay, so where again Parashurama will tell his brothers to take care of the dead body of his father, and he will go and kill all the sons of Kartavirya Arjuna, and he's in such a rage, which is not expected to be of a true Brahmana, but he tried to kill all the people, and he don't want any Kshatriya to be residing there. Okay, so therefore, whether one be a Kartavirya Arjuna or a Lord Parashurama, Jamadagni, or whosoever one may be, or you should act cautiously and sagely. Okay, the instant decisions, instant gratifications, or reacting to the situation, all these things is not going to fetch anything in the future. Okay, so one should always try to refrain from being in a passionate mode or an ignorance mode, and try to be in the goodness mode. So like what exactly we have to do to be in a mode of a goodness? Somebody from the audience? What are the activities we have to put it into practice in our day-to-day life?
Eat sattvic food and then do Hare Nam Japa, like the Maha Mantra Japa. And then read about God's pastimes.
We should not do any sinful activities.
Follow the 4 regulative principles.
Yes. So this is a picture as Murli Prabhu has read now the summary of that chapter. He's killing all the sons of Kartavirya Arjuna, and the blood is flowing a river. Yeah. With the blood of the bodies of these sons, Lord Parashurama created a ghastly river, which brought great fear to the king, who has no respect for Brahmanical culture. Because the Kshatriyas, the men of power in government, were performing sinful activities, Lord Parashurama, on the plea of retaliating for the murder of his father, rid off all the Kshatriyas from the face of earth 21 times. Indeed, in a place known as the Samanta Panchaka, he created 9 lakes filled with their blood. Okay. So this happened most of the time. If somebody is sober, soft, and very humble and all, they try to take advantage of that situation. But you know, the learned people are Brahmanas, because they are constantly in the service and devotional service of the Lord. So never ever try to get a tug on war with these people. And this is one example where he can totally vanish the whole dynasty if he wants. And this is a example for that particular acts. Okay, according to the laws of nature, whether the time of Parashurama or at the present, okay, if a government become irresponsible and sinful, not caring for the Brahmanical culture, there will certainly be an incarnation of a god like Parashurama to create the devastation by the fire, famine, pestilence, or some other calamity. Okay, recently I think everybody might have encountered now what calamity we have all gone through for the past few years.
COVID.
Yes, COVID. Okay, and I think all of you must have seen the pictures like pre-COVID. Somebody was not able to see the snow mountains, and after the COVID restriction, all the temperature and the climate got so much clean and all. They were able to see the air quality index became very better in majority of the cities, isn't it? So I think anything which is any ghastly thing is happening in the day-to-day generation, then definitely Lord is going to take a necessary action to kill all the people in the form of a famine or a fire or something COVID like that, where en masse some group of people will succumb to death at a point. Okay. So whenever the government disrespect the supremacy of the personality of the Godhead and fail to protect the institution of the Varnashrama Dharma, it will certainly have to face such catastrophes as formerly brought about by the Lord Parashurama. Okay, it will come. So here we are able to see the Parashurama's avatar, but it will come either in any form. You can't say. See, COVID was just a virus, you know, but it has killed many people across the globe. Okay, So we should always be dutiful towards our activities and our duties and responsibility, and we should always be fearing God. Okay. Yeah. As Murli Prabhu read the summary, the Jamadagni was brought back to life by his son by meditating upon the Lord, and his head was attached to his body, and upon the prayers, he will come back to the life. Okay. Although Lord Parashurama was an incarnation of Supreme Personality of the Godhead, he had to account for his sinful activity. That's what his father will say. Go to pilgrimages and do the sadhana of Krishna consciousness. So anyone in this material world, this is applicable for all of us. However careful we may be, but sometimes we may commit some sinful activities. So even though we doesn't want to. So what we have to do?
Chant Hare Krishna mantra so that all sinful activities can be neutralized.
Slowly we'll get neutralized or not. So we should engage ourselves in what do you say? And knowingly, unknowingly we'll be doing, so when we are walking, maybe you don't know how many species are getting killed under our feet. And at the same time, when we are eating and sleeping, many organisms which are there in our body are getting killed. So not only that, many times because of our actions or because of our behavior, because of our words, we may be hurting others or we are causing a hurt to somebody else. So that also accounts to the sinful activity. So by being Krishna conscious, by being engaging in the service of the Lord, automatically the purification process begins in. So we are very watchful about our activities, and so will be our behavior, and our habits will change, and our will become more empathetic towards our fellow human beings. So good within will always give good outside. Okay, if you're not good within, so you can't give it out. Okay. So as discussed, he will be brought back to life with full remembrance, and he'll become one of the 7 sages in the group of 7 stars, that is Saptarshi Mandala. Okay. And Parashurama is still living, they say. And here the conversation is between Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami. So here Sukadeva Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj, my dear King Parikshit, in the next Manvantara, okay, the lotus-head personality of the Godhead, Lord Parashurama, the son of Jamadagni, will be a great propounder of Vedic knowledge. In the other verse, he'll be one of the 7 sages. So Lord Parashurama still lives in an intelligent, lives as an intelligent Brahmana in the mountainous country known as Mahendra. Completely satisfied, having given up all the weapons of Kshatriya, he is always worshipped, adored, and offered prayers for his exalted character and activities by such celestial beings as the Siddhas, Charanas, and the Gandharvas. Okay. So ultimately, what we have to do, our homework is only to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I find this chapter bit tricky, the PPTs, they were too concise. If I say the PPT, I thought you people will not understand it. That's the reason why I made you read the purports.
It was very clear and gave a very good lesson.
That's good, Mataji.
Yeah.
It just gives clarity.
Yeah. If you wanted to go back and refer also, 9th canto, 15th and 16th chapters about Lord Parashurama. I didn't read the whole text. These texts are there, no? Around 40 texts are there in 15th and around 30 odd texts are there in 16th chapter. If you are free, just go through that text. Okay, you will have an even more clear picture. I just made you read the summary so that you will have a clarity of picture, like what exactly which has been told in the class. Okay.
It's Canto 9,
what I read,
chapter, Mataji?
Canto 9th.
9 chapter?
Chapter 15 and 16.
15 and 16. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. It was very nice. It was very detailed, actually.
Yeah.
It was like a bit more
Mataji,
detailed.
what I read was that if you take offenses to the Brahmanas, it is not excusable even by the Lord. That
Yes.
is the most serious offense we commit when we do something for the wrong for the Brahmanas.
So actually, Prabhu, take home message is that we should be what do you say, in the mode of a goodness, and we should get to that stage of become a good Vaishnava, you know, then automatically Krishna will take care of everything.
Agree.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. I think any doubts, anything you wanted to ask?
So, Mataji, I have one doubt. So, Parashurama is still there? Like,
That's what is been told in Srimad Bhagavatam.
okay. So, he's still there in this world then.
See, Lord will always be there.
Yeah, I
That
get it.
is
But
the beginning and he is the end, you know,
End.
till you have a life and existence and all. The avatars are only as per the requirement of that. How can I say? You say, suppose a prime minister is there, okay? And depending on certain situations, he can also be the extra portfolios like finance ministry and defense ministry also he will take care.
yeah, right.
So likewise, depending on the requirement of the mankind, you know, different avatars will come and they will take care of that particular thing and they will disappear. But they are omnipresent and they will never vanish from this.
Yeah, correct. Because I had a lot of other avatars, they come and they leave. Like, once the purpose or once the demon is destroyed. But Parasurama and I think some other avatar, they don't
Yes,
leave. I
there are
think.
some 7 avatars who are always there amongst us. One of them is Hanuman also.
Yes.
This is what
Yeah.
I read something.
Yes, Prabhu, you're right.
Yeah. Thank you, Mother. That was my doubt. That's it.
Okay, fine then. Okay, if there are no more doubts, I think we'll end the session for today and we'll come with one more avatar for the next week. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you, co-host and participants, for your active participation. See you all on next Tuesday.